Hey there everybody, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Puborama, and in today's video, I'll be breaking into what I believe to be the top 5 worst armored vehicles to spend your money on in Grand Theft Auto Online. Let's get straight into it. I thought this would actually be a pretty fun video idea, because a lot of times YouTubers will make videos breaking into the 5 best armored vehicles or weaponized whatnot. But I feel like there's still a lot of armored vehicles that people don't know all too much about. Ones that you should probably stay away from, but because there's not many videos saying that, well, you don't really know the answer. So that's what today's video is for, giving you the idea of what to not buy when it comes to armored cars. So starting off, we have this, the Barrage. It looks really cool. It's got a front-mounted minigun. The back of it has a mounted grenade launcher, which is pretty sick. It's also a really good off-roader. It's got decent acceleration. Actually, not too bad of a top speed. The problem is that it doesn't really have any weapons or really anything whatsoever. First of all, the driver cannot use the mounted machine guns whatsoever. Like, you can't even hold right on the D-pad to access them. You actually have to exit the vehicle, then hold Y to enter the vehicle, then your character is going to climb onto the roof and get into the front-mounted machine gun. You can imagine how this is pretty dang useless, let's be real. This vehicle also has no mines whatsoever, which obviously a lot of the armored vehicles like the Insurgent and really any other of the gun running update vehicles can use. So it's kind of just disappointing. The only real good thing about the Barrage is that it can survive 5 homing missiles, the 6th one blowing it up. But now that we have Amani Tech cars, there's really no reason whatsoever why you'd want to drive this vehicle over an Amani Tech car. Next up, we have the Heavy Menacer, a vehicle that sounds incredibly devastating, and it looks like it would be a very good competitor to something of that like an Insurgent pickup custom. Unfortunately, it's not. Once again, this vehicle does not feature mines. Pressing the mine button, as we can see, just blares the horn and does literally nothing when it comes to actually dropping mines. As well, you can't throw any sticky bombs or anything out of the gunner seat. All you really have access to is this incredibly lame front-mounted machine gun, which takes forever to do any damage to a vehicle. The Menacer is not fast. It's incredibly bad at off-roading because of how low down it is to the ground. So really the only thing I can say this car is good at is surviving a pretty decent chunk of missiles at around 26. But again, that's the same as the Insurgent and the Insurgent Pickup Custom. Why would I ever buy a Menacer when I can buy just the base stock Insurgent for half the price? And yeah, I just don't buy this vehicle. Next up, we have one of the weirdest looking vehicles in Grand Theft Auto Online. This is the Zaba. If I'm not mistaken, it's based off the Unimog in real life, which is an incredibly cool off-road vehicle that can basically weather any terrain, with its massive tires and ability to actually drive on water. Now, to be fair, to Rockstar's credit, this vehicle can also float and drive in water, as we can see in Grand Theft Auto Online. The problem is that's about all this vehicle has going for it. First of all, it's one of the slowest vehicles in the game, only achieving a top speed of around 60 miles per hour. That's pretty dang lame. Add that into the fact that you have literally no means of defense apart from just using a pistol or, you know, a tactical SMG, and you're basically screwed when using this car. I mean, sure, it looks cool, and it can weather some pretty tough situations. It can survive upwards of 26 homing missiles, but it can't do anything. It has no weapons, no missiles, no nothing. It's just a big waste of money. While scrolling through Warstock Cash and Carry, you might feast your eyes upon the RCV, an incredibly cool-looking riot van, which has a plow on the front and a water sprayer on the roof. I mean, this thing looks absolutely sick. Why wouldn't you want to buy it? Well, because of the fact that it's literally completely useless. The RCV can withstand 2 homing missiles. Whoopee! The problem is it's the size of a literal bus, because it is a bus. So missiles are very easily going to hit you, and yeah, let's be real. In this day and age of GTA Online, 2 missiles is basically nothing. Now, the RCV is not very fast, only achieving a top speed of around 100-ish miles per hour, and you'd think that with this massive plow on the front that it would be able to send vehicles out of your way. Well, let's see just how good this plow is. I mean, yeah, it's really not that good. You can see that just driving into even some of the slower vehicles that are just normal street cars cars, you don't even send them flying. I mean, yeah, we sent that car a little far, but it's nothing compared to the Sasquatch, which has a massive plow on the front of it, is much faster, can actually achieve a top speed over 120 with the speed boost, and sends cars absolutely flying, even if you're driving into oncoming lanes. I mean, look at that car. These cars are just gone. So why would you settle for an RCV when you can get a vehicle like this, which can not only survive more explosions, is faster, has the ability to jump, but also has little mines that you can drop out of the back of it? I mean, seriously, I'm really not sure what else to say, especially when you take a look at the price tag and see the RCV is a ridiculous $2.3 million. I really don't know what Rockstar was thinking there. And to finish today's video off, in the first place position, we have the armored Boxville. Rockstar decided to change the price of almost all the weaponized vehicles in Grand Theft Auto Online, I would say 3 or 4 months ago. And this was one of the vehicles they made a lot cheaper. Now, you might be thinking, maybe it's a good deal, it's $1.3 million. It's not. It's a pile of trash. And there's a reason why it's only $1.3 million, and you still will never see one of these driving down the road. First of all, it cannot survive any explosions. Yes, you heard that right. This vehicle, the quote-unquote armored Boxville, cannot survive a single explosion. Add that into the fact that this vehicle is also not able to be stored in any personal garage or be upgraded in really any way, and you can imagine why it is a complete waste of money. I mean, sure, it looks absolutely epic, and it would have been a great vehicle for Rockstar to have available as a sale mission for your motorcycle clubs. Unfortunately, that's just not the case, and instead we're stuck with the crappy post-op vans. The only real good things I can say about the armored Boxville is that it's not trash on mobility, and it has a decent plow, which, as we can see, does actually send vehicles flying. That's really the only two good things I can say about it, because it can't drop mines, it can't survive any explosions, and that front-mounted, or not front-mounted, but the top-mounted machine gun is only accessible to the second person using the vehicle. You do have sticky bombs, which I guess is nice, you know, being able to use them and throw stuff at cars. It's not the world's worst thing ever, but the fact that homing missiles can lock onto this vehicle, yeah, I don't understand why Rockstar brought this vehicle into the game and then marketed it as an armored vehicle with the survivability of a Panto. I really don't understand it. At the end of the day, none of the vehicles that I've showcased today are in my personal possession. None! And that's actually pretty crazy when you realize that I have made $652 million of income on this account. And I own almost every armored vehicle, yet none of the vehicles that I've showcased in today's video are in my personal garages. So that should come as good warning to not waste your money on them. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and if you'd like to see more like it, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if you'd like to see the worst sports cars or something like that. I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's definitely just good advice to stay away from these vehicles. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.